Hey everybody, welcome to that Kilted Guy videos, and I've got these two Stinger paint brushes here that we tested recently on a live stream, and I watched that back and I wasn't overly happy with how things came out, partly because of the video quality, and I think I could have done a better job testing the cut in. So this time I've set up a different scenario for cutting in. We're going to test these again right after this. Hey, thanks for stopping by my channel here at that Kilted Guy videos. I appreciate all of you guys. And if you watched my live stream, you saw me test these new revolutionary style paint brushes. And I did put them through a couple tests, but it was on a live stream. And that probably wasn't the best idea because turned out the quality was pretty low. I'm new to live streaming. I didn't realize how bad it was going to be. And it was hard to see how well things came out or didn't. So we're going to retest these brushes, mainly these brushes this time, and I'm going to tell you about the brushes again in case you didn't catch that live stream. So what we have here is, this is some brushes that were sent to me by the Stinger Brush Company, and this is the shirt that I'm wearing. You can see on the back it's Stinger Brush. So we've got two different brushes here. One of them they call the Pro, and the other they just call the Stinger Brush. Now let me tell you just a little bit about them first. First of all, they obviously have this new design here, and you could call that revolutionary. It depends on if you like it or not. We're going to test a few things and see. But one of the things I want to point out is how it's made, because that's one thing that I look for in a brush, and honestly, I don't think this could be made any better. It's made really well. Now let me show you something. Now brushes, as you probably know, come in all kinds of different qualities and price ranges. And let's start with the cheapest. If you ever paint with one of these little cheap brushes, don't. Spank yourself. Don't do it again. These are crap. You know what I use these for? Got a lot of them. These are handy for putting RX-35 on torn brown paper like we did in this video. We showed how to fix that torn brown paper, or maybe spreading glue, or things where you're going to use them and toss them. So the next step up is, well, this ain't really a step up either. It looks like a decent brush, but this is a $1 brush. One of the things I'll show you is this ferrule on here that attaches the bristles here. This thing is just like punched on here. It's really crappy. I could probably rip it off if I really wanted. It's got a hollow handle, cheap bristles. You're going to get a lousy job if you use this. Why buy a $1 brush if you want your house to look nice? So let's get rid of that. Okay, another step up would be this one. This one I bought at Harbor Freight. They have three qualities, basically El Crapo, middle grade, and this is what you're looking for. So if you're going to cheap out on brushes, this might not be a bad choice. I tried this the other night, and I think they're like $9, and it's not bad. But I'll tell you what the difference is. One is, I can tell by the feel of the handle, this isn't a real high quality wood. I would guess it's not. It feels lightweight. I think this handle might not hold up if you get it wet too much. Like a lot of you guys drop your brush in a bucket of water, this thing might fall apart. This ferrule on here, it looks decent, but the whole thing feels a little lighter, a little bit cheaper, but not bad, not near as bad as those crappy ones, and those are crap. So now let's move up to, say, a Purdy, and you notice they look pretty similar, and they're not that far off. So Purdy is going to have a better quality wood right here. Oftentimes these are, I believe it's beech wood, and they will just last a lot longer. Like you throw them in the water, they won't split and fall apart. This ferrule is going to stay on here, hold your bristles in. You're not going to have near as many bristles pulling out and getting into your paint. And then you just got a better quality bristle. These are Nylox. I think it says Nylox Dale, handcrafted in the USA. And I've used Purdy's for many years. I've probably bought at least 100 of them over time, because it's been one of my favorite brushes. It's a good brush, but this new brush has me kind of intrigued. It's got a really good feel to it too, but let's go over the construction. Again, this feels like a beechwood handle. It feels pretty smooth. You can tell this is solid wood. This is not anything cheap that's going to split and fall apart. But look at this ferrule. This ferrule is one piece, has no seam in it. Most all of these have a seam somewhere. Right there I can tell where it's rolled over. And that's not terrible, but this is just like a step up in quality. There's nothing to fall apart there. And these are nailed on across here, and they hold up. I've never had one fall apart, but I think that nails would be more likely to come loose and give you problems than this one. This one is actually epoxied on, so it's a one-piece ferrule here, and it's epoxied on, so I think these bristles are going to be held in here forever, as long as this brush lasts. But I can tell a lot of times by the feel. If you do like this and it just makes you go to sleep, well, that doesn't tell you anything. But no, seriously, if the brush, you can kind of tell it's got to have kind of a softness here. A lot of times they kind of flag the ends to get them to hold more paint and have a little bit more softness. And what that'll do is when you're going across here, it won't leave quite as many bristle marks. Now, I'm not sure what they do on the ends here, but they do feel soft. Now, the unique thing, of course, is this Stinger point. I think the whole objective here is, instead of trying to get the whole brush in here, you got this point to try and get in there like that. You can kind of work it in there. I'm going to do some close-up video here in a minute so you can see this better. But also, like, let's say you have a corner where the two walls come together, the two walls and the ceiling, so the three-way corner. This is going to allow you to push that Stinger tip up into that corner better and get in there and work the paint in to get started on your cutting in. I've yet to really put these to work in the field, so I can't say 100% sure how well they're going to work. The other night they felt like they worked pretty good, and the big thing to me is, based upon the quality feel of this brush, I would say overall that this is a good brush. Now, it might come down to, do you like this Stinger point? And this is a revolutionary design. It's not been done before, so I think it's going to take just a little bit of playing with to get the feel of how to utilize that Stinger tip. What I've set up here is a piece of sheetrock. This is the back side of it, so it's kind of wavy on the back side because the other night we painted the front side of it. So I flipped it around, put a piece of trim on here. This is all just temporary. And then I caulked this here so we have a good line to cut into tonight. The other night someone called me out on it, and you were right. If you're watching this video, comment down below. Say, haha, I told you so, or whatever you want to say. No, be polite, I hope. But I was trying to create a cut-in line across here, and what I did is I marked with a pencil, but on the other side I had painted it this dark brown. Well, this is the dark brown tonight, and when I painted it dark brown and drew a line across it, I couldn't see it, so I decided, why don't I put a piece of tape on there to give me that line? And the problem is, like he said, you don't cut into a piece of tape. You brush over the piece of tape and then you peel it off and you got a straight line. So that wasn't really the best way to demonstrate cutting in. So this time I flipped it around. This time I put the white out here, and we're going to paint with the brown, and we don't need a line. Now, I will mention too that I am not a long-time painter. Now, I've painted for a long time, but really what my skills are is in drywall. I've been in the construction trades probably 37, 38 years by now, and I've got at least 35 years of drywall experience. I started when I was 8 years old with helping my dad, and then I was doing it every day after school, and it's kind of hard to add up, but spent 7 years in the military. The point is that I've mostly done drywall, but a lot of times I've been asked to paint. I've got an airless paint sprayer. I've probably painted over 100 to 200 jobs. I don't really know. It's taken me years to get decent at cutting in, so I'll explain to you how I do it. If you do it differently or have different tips, go ahead and comment down below. If you think I'm doing anything wrong, comment down below. I took the advice of you who told me about using the tape. I'm not afraid to listen. I am not perfect. So I'm going to do the best I can here to demonstrate these brushes, and I will put a link to these in the description down below. If you use that link, it's an affiliate link. We earn a small commission on that, and that's what helps us put out these videos. But this is not a sponsored video. These were just given to me, and they said, try it out. Let's see what you think about them. And hey, if you like to learn these kind of things, be sure and click that subscribe button. And if you click the bell icon, that's how you'll get notified each time we put out a new video. Also, it really helps us to build our channel if you give us a thumbs up or even a thumbs down. They both help. And give us a comment down below. All of that is how Google's algorithm ranks us and says we're going to show your video more. So I really appreciate it if you do that. And of course, you can share the video with your friends and social media too. Also, I've got some good information in the description down below. Along with the link to this, I'll put links to the other brushes, some of these others, and some other painting supplies. I also give away some free ebooks and guides and such, and I'll put that down below. Let's move in close here and get started on the cut in. Okay, if you can see that fine line, I'm not sure. Let me know if you can see that. Comment down below, let me know. So we got this nice dark brown paint. I often use this to paint my drywall in here so that when I spray this lighter colored mud on it or just put it on it, you can see it better. So this is nice and dark. Now some of you are going to wonder, what kind of paint are we using? Well, it's bare. Some leftover paint. This is Eggshell. They're Premium Plus paint and primer in one. I don't even remember what job I used it on. I probably had it for a year or two, but it's still fine. So we're going to load the brush up. Now, here's how I cut in. Again, you may do this different. I start kind of out here, and then I push in and work my way in to that edge, and then I do the pull down. So let's go ahead and just try cutting in here. Okay, I realized I was kind of blocking the camera, so I went back after this was all done, and I repainted the board with this grayish color this time, and I cut in with a GoPro up above me so you can see it better, and it actually does cut in nicely. I wasn't really paying attention to the wide part until here towards the end. I think it did a good job though. So wow, okay. I'm actually impressed more tonight with this color than I was the other night, but again, that wasn't necessarily my best painting demonstration. So I'm gonna use this regular Stinger. The other night, I didn't even use that one at all. Maybe it's the better one, I don't know. So we'll load this one up. Now you guys might ask how much these are. They're just like a little over $20. They're really not that bad for a good quality brush. Now, if you're gonna buy a brush like this, take care of it. When that brush starts feeling kind of gunky, go clean it and use one of these. This is really one of the best tools. I'll put a link to this if I can find them on Amazon. This lets you get into the bristles and clean it really well, like so. And then this part will scrub off any paint that kind of dried on the bristles. So take care of your brush, and it should last you a long time. It could last you a year if you take good care of it. So here we go with the red Stinger regular. And let's see if I'm out of the way again. It's honestly hard to paint from over here. I normally would paint from right here, but I'm trying to let you guys see this, so. I tried positioning my camera in several different ways. Maybe it's the paint I was using, but this is definitely doing a better job. Now I'm going to show you a close-up of both of these here in a minute, so don't run off yet. If you need a cookie, go ahead and get one. Beer, pickles, whatever you need. No, I gotta say that I can't see a difference in them, and it's going on really smooth. Now, one other difference tonight is I did add this product. If you want really smooth finish, this M1 latex paint additive and extender, what this is it's an extender, which means it gives you more open time. That means it's not going to start setting up and getting sticky where you can't work it as soon. And so let me read you what it says here. It's for use in all water-based coating, improves flow and leveling, extends open time 10 to 15 minutes, and eliminates brush and roller marks. And this treats 16 gallons, so it goes a long ways. I just put like a tablespoon in that little bit I got there. And what it'll do is, by allowing that longer open time, that means that paint has longer to flow. Paint needs to flow out. So the brush marks on there, when they first go on there, you can imagine they're kind of like this. Well, as it flows, they all kind of start coming down to the same height because it just self levels like water. If you don't have that in there, it starts setting up and kind of drying before it has a chance to fully do that. So if you're painting something like trim or cutting in, this is just going to give you an even smoother feel, and maybe that's what's helping tonight. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try just a swath across here, so make sure I loaded it right. Okay, we'll just start with this was the Stinger Pro, so I'm going to put the Stinger Red Normal right here, and we're just going across here in a fairly straight line. Man, that is covering really good. I mean, dark over white, and it's covering really good. All right, let's try the Pro. So the Pro. I probably didn't load it good enough, because that doesn't feel right. Okay, now honestly, those both felt good to me. I mean, that to me is a good feeling brush, but let me tell you what it says on the package here. Okay, if I remember right, the Stinger Pro is a little bit stiffer. Now I'm going to put up that information on the screen, but I believe that one's just got a little bit stiffer bristles than the red one. Now, one other thing I like about a company like this is they say applying change, bringing hope. We believe in neighbors, helping neighbors, rolling up their sleeves and getting dirty to improve their community. The Stinger Brush Company is proud to do our part to help. With each purchase of a Stinger brush, a contribution for painting materials is made to local charitable organizations like Habitat for Humanity to help fund community projects. We are painting hope one stroke at a time. Now, I like companies that take a little bit of concern for our communities and that, and give back. I don't really like greedy companies, and I will tend to steer my business more towards a company that does stuff like this. So let me try the Purdy brush too. We might as well throw a swatch of that up there, get a pretty decent load on there. And then if you are new to this, the way I load my brush is I dip it in there a little bit and then tap it on the side a few times, and it will just take off some of that drippiness. You don't want to come out of here with drips going everywhere. And then we'll just take a little swipe across here. Come on, Purdy, do it. I actually think that one, with that Stinger tip, gave me a cleaner line across there, but they both covered really well. So the coverage, I would say, is on par with the Purdy. So I'll tell you what, just for fun, we're going to try this Avanti from Harbor Freight, and I actually think it'll do decent. Now, one of the things that you don't want to do when you're painting is put your paint on too thin. I see that with rollers all the time. Let me see where I'm going to put the paint up there, but to demonstrate what I'm talking about is so many people want to spread their paint so thin that you don't get good coverage. You need a decent layer on there for that flow out and that proper coverage. So let's go ahead and put that on up here. Splashing paint on myself. So not bad. I can see a little less coverage after that, and it doesn't feel quite as good. It's a little bit, I don't know, stiffer to me, but it's not bad for a cheap brush. So hey, I'm looking forward to actually trying that brush some more because it feels like it's going to be really cool, and I can't wait to try it into some corners and that too and see what this thing will do. So if you want to pick one of these up and give it a try, let me know how it came out. Comment down below after you've given it a try, and there's that link down below. And be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Don't forget, that's important to help our channel grow, and it's how you're going to learn more of these kind of tasks. We teach all kinds of stuff on here, and I really look forward to seeing you on the next video. You guys are why I do this. So I will see you next time. So everybody, take care.